When you take a look at a business and you're looking for opportunities, one of the best places to look is say, what divisions or departments in my business is struggling the most? And let's do everything we can to fix it. So what do you need to know about fixing slower departments or departments that are behind, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan, coming to you live from Consulting Secrets on a perfect day to talk about business growth, opportunities, slower departments, and a fantastic day to talk about you. It's not uncommon for me to go into a business and ask which department is struggling the most. And I will share with you, hands down, one of the biggest answers that comes up is accounting. For whatever reason, accounting is one of those things inside of almost every business, almost every, right, that has some sort of holdback or some sort of reason why it's not getting done. And sometimes it's just because you're busy. Sometimes it's just because man hours, and then sometimes it's because people are holding you back. I want to share with you a concept that you could possibly use to help alleviate some of this. And what it comes down to is hiring fractional people, right? So I go and I take a look at a lot of companies and I say, hey, let's talk about your accounts receivable. And if they do $1 million a year in revenue, they're typically 30% behind. They're $300,000 sitting in accounts receivable. And my thing is like, that's your money. You've already done the work. You should have somebody pay you. Like, let's figure out a way to get paid. And then, we go to the accounting department, and the accounting department's like, we're busy. Well, if you owe me money, I want to speed that up as fast as possible. So the question always comes down to, who can we hire temporarily to get everything caught up? Now, this is where excuses start coming in, and this is where visibility of black boxing starts coming in, that you should absolutely start paying attention to. So if the person's like, hey, I'm busy and I'm going to get to it, one of the possible answers is we're going to get you somebody to get some help, at least on a temporary basis, because at the end of the day, you should have a closing date for your books. The big companies have closing dates like on the 8th or the 9th. So like if it's January 1st coming up and the month is the brand new month, then the business owners, the team know the books are going to be closed by the 8th, 9th, or the 10th. And so what happens is that constraint makes people get stuff done. But if you don't have that in place, one of the things that you're going to find is your books will be 2, 3, or 4 months out. Well, it's really tough to make some executive decisions when you're saying, what's really going on? We need visibility. Now, it also puts you at risk for a couple of other things. You could have theft. You can have AR not being collected. You can have vendors that are being overpaid or underpaid. You can have people on the team that are doing some shenanigans. And the further out your sight or your line of vision is on that, the more trouble that you're in. If you're not paying attention to labor, if you're not paying attention to goods or services that you're paying for, it's a disadvantage to you. And anybody who is in a position should know what the closing date is. And it should be an absolute expectation of saying, hey, this is what our closing date is going to be. So we're going to start with accounts receivable, but every other department, wherever it's falling behind, you should strategically go through, list all of your departments and say which one is going to give us the most advantage if we can get this one caught up. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, it'll probably cost you a couple of grand, but the ability for you to make those decisions and figure out what's going on is an advantage in the marketplace. If you have that advantage and your competition doesn't, you have something that is going to help you make better decisions. You have something that's going to help you make better decisions, especially if you're going into a busy season or a slow season. Having control of departments inside of your business that are not being effective also can tell you, hey, is it a management issue? Is it an employee issue? Is that employee black boxing information? Are they holding back to make it more difficult for me to grow? In my mind, if you own a company and the roles and responsibilities, the standard operating procedures say, hey, on this date, X activity needs to positively be done, there's no excuse why it can't be done unless somebody says I was on vacation. Like, you should have a list of like, these are the things that are acceptable. There are companies in accounting that are fractional CEO, CFOs, chief financial officers, that I think it's about $100 an hour, right? And if you have somebody coming in at $100 an hour and somebody is a month behind, it's going to take you half a week, a couple of weeks, or a month to get you caught up. But that ability for you to make better decisions is your advantage. And I challenge you this week, go through your departments and say, who's behind and what do we got to do to catch these people up so that we have vision, ideas, and the ability to make strategic decisions. There you go. Figure out which department is slow, figure out what you can do, who you can hire, or how you can help them to get up to speed so they're no longer behind. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.